What's up, Sassy? It's your girl Sassy J, and welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome. Tonight's video is gonna be late. I literally just got home. It's like 10 minutes to 1 or 5 minutes to 1, guys. I ain't even gonna play. I literally had to watch Love Island on my way home on the bus, but I'm home now, so I'm gonna put the video up. Don't watch my eyes, they're shutting down, they're tired. I'm gonna try to do this video as quick as possible so I can upload it before I go to bed in this early hours of the morning, okay? But before I get into the video, guys, give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome as always. Please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you get updated every single time I upload a new video. So guys, we see tonight Mr. Montel still refusing to take accountability or responsibility for his own actions, and he's trying to use the fact that the boys influenced him. Now listen, it's one thing about me, right? I cannot stand somebody who's easily influenced, especially when it comes to doing stupidness, right? Because at the end of the day, you should have had a mind of your own. If somebody tells you to jump off the friggin' cliff, you gonna jump off the friggin' cliff? Is that what you're telling me, Montel? Like, please. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, it's the same thing that I said last night. It's the same thing Leah's saying to him tonight. Had you just stood up and say, listen, I felt I had a connection with things, I kissed her, but then I decided that, you know, Leah was the one that I wanted, Leah would have been okay with it because she said it herself. We're open before we went into Casa Amor. At the end of the day, that's all he needed to do. But then when she asked him, he lied, and he kept lying. Do you know what I'm saying? And then when he decided to own up to it after she literally kind of like came at him full force, he blames the boys. He doesn't take any accountability. And I'm just like, at what point are you going to man up and take responsibility for the shit that you did? Do you see what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, they've literally hashed it out, talked about it, and decided to move forward. Now, Leah said, like, obviously, this made her a bit more mindful because, you know, she doesn't want anyone that is so easily influenced. Okay, and I think she thought that her and Montel was in a much better place, and she was obviously not expecting this, you know. But I do not trust Montel. I feel like you're too easily influenced. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't trust him. I don't trust him, and I don't like the fact that he just did not take responsibility for his actions. You know what I mean? But anyways, guys, so we see Catherine and Scott had their little thing. For me personally, I feel like Scott is overdoing it. I feel like he's trying to go out of his way to prove a point. He's saying to Catherine that, listen, I did what I did at the fire pit for you. Now, we don't need to go to Specsavers to know that he did that for himself and not for Catherine. Because when he mentioned it to her, she said to him not to do it. She asked him not to do it. And he said, this is what I need to do, right? He obviously wanted to defend his name or his honor or whatever it was. That was nothing to do with Catherine. You see what I'm saying? She defended him, but that was not really anything to do with Catherine, because people weren't saying that Catherine didn't want Scott. They were saying that Scott didn't want Catherine. Do you see what I'm saying? So for him to twist it to say, oh, I did this for you and I did that for you, I'm doing so many things for you, but then you bring somebody over from Casa Amor. Hear me out with this situation. I'm happy she brought somebody over. I feel like you can see the difference. This girl goes giddy. Listen, with Scott, she was feeling gas. With Elam, that's butterflies, okay? Butterflies. She's grinning from ear to ear. She's happy. She's giddy. And you can tell, and she's aware of this because she's mentioned this as well. But you can look, you see them, and you can tell that there's something there. And I really hope that it works out for them. Scott, I feel like he's overdoing it. He's overdoing it because he's making it out. He's trying to make Catherine out to be a bad person, in a sense where, you know, you went and did this, I can't forgive you. It's like unforgivable. You know what I'm saying? It's not unforgivable. The issue is in this situation is that he actually wanted a way out anyways with the Catherine thing, but he did not want to be the one to do it. You see how he said, oh, I'm going to get to know Katie? He wanted a way out of that situation, but he just did not want to be the person to pull himself out of it. But now that Catherine's done what she's done, yes, his ego is a bit hurt still. Do you see what I'm saying? His ego is a bit bruised, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to stop him from cracking on. Like, I don't know why he made such a big deal about it, because at the end of the day, they weren't closed off. They were quite open. And when he wanted to get to know the other two girls, she stepped back and she gave him space and she said, do you? If it doesn't work out, come back. I'm here. Do you know what I'm saying? So why can't he give her the same grace that she gave him? You know what I mean? I'm glad that their conversation ended in a way that, you know, they can be somewhat civil, but she got that closure that she needed, because we hear her telling Elon that, listen, it's done. You know, we can move forward now. As of tomorrow, we're solid. Do you see what I'm saying? And with that kiss, they sealed it. So I'm glad that she's found, you know, her Prince Charming. I'm hoping he's her Prince Charming. Do you see what I'm saying? But I feel like they're in a much better place than her and Scott would have been or could have been. Do you see what I'm saying? Ty, my boy. Ty said yes last night that he would not forgive Ella. Obviously, we know there's a lot of emotions involved because he's feeling these feelings, and this boy is really smitten. Do you know what? I genuinely feel like they will get back together. I feel like he will calm down and he will be able to let her in. And we obviously see him saying to her tonight that, listen, I do miss you, right? And when she was crying, he went and told her not to cry. So you can tell that he's feeling stuff for her, and those feelings are genuine, because he's hurting, but he still doesn't want to see her hurt. You know what I mean? And I think that shows that he really genuinely cares about her. We see where he tells her that, listen, if you care about us and you want us to get back together, you have to end it with Uzi, right? And when she tried to kiss him, he went, no. You have to have your conversation with him tomorrow, with Uzi tomorrow, but this does not mean that we're back on right away. And I honestly respect that. At the end of the day, he's saying to her, talk to Uzi first before we do all of this. And at the same time, he has to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything, don't you? So at the end of the day, we would have been saying the same thing to Ella, so I'm going to be saying the same thing to Tyreek. At the end of the day, take your time, the time that you need. You don't have to rush into it. We know they're going to get back. And when they do get back, I'm telling you, they're going to be inseparable. These two have a good chance of actually winning, because it's like one of those ultimate love stories where, you know, two people fighting and everything and they come together. And do you know what? They started toxic. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes that comes with passion. You know, passionate people, they do tend to clash a lot. But I honestly feel like once they get over this hurdle, we won't see that happening. We won't see them clashing as much. We won't see any of that. I feel like they both now will feel like they've kind of like overcome the ultimate test, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? It was good to see Tyreek talking to Uzi and making sure there was no bad blood. I think I respected that, to be honest with you. And I felt bad for Uzi because I felt like he's been brought into the situation and been abandoned at the same time. Do you see what I'm saying? But I get that Ella is confused and she's struggling. But, you know, I feel really bad for Uzi. I'm glad that he's in the villa, but I feel like, you know, if you're going to bring somebody back, then you have to kind of try to give them a chance. Obviously, with her, there's no chance she's given Uzi, because she came back and the instant regret was all over her face, and she's just been on mission, get back Ty. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just want her to have this conversation, set Uzi free, let him go and have a conversation with Katie, because obviously I know Katie liked him. Do you see what I'm saying? And now he could be more open to other people and getting to know other people. So I feel like this conversation needs to happen sooner than later. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do want them to get back together. I'm not gonna lie, I want them to get back together. And as you can see in the preview for tomorrow, where he's talking and flirting with Katie, because we see Tyreek is flirting with Katie, but he's just flirting. You know what I'm saying? I think he just wants to heal whatever pride that he's got left that was hurt. You know what I'm saying? But Katie's not stupid. She knows that this is a rebound thing. She enjoyed the flirt because he's a good looking guy, but at the end of the day, I think she knows, because there's too much feelings for Ella, and she knows that that won't actually go anywhere. But it obviously really pissed off Ella in tomorrow's clip that we saw, where she just walked up and be like, oh, is this a thing now? And do you know what? I respect that. I respect the fact that she was ballsy enough to see that and thinking, I'm not going to stand for this shit. I know I messed up, but y'all not going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was a bit funny. And obviously Tyreek is like literally saying to her, listen, you don't have any say. I'm doing my thing. You did you. I'm doing me. Do you know what I mean? To be honest, until she does the whole thing with Uzi, she won't have that proper chance with Tyreek, because I feel like he won't allow himself to get in that situation unless it's 100% him. And you know what? He has all right to feel like that, because realistically, if that was me, I would have not wanted to get into that situation unless you're 100% going to be about me. So I feel like he's within his right to feel that way. But it's going to clash quite a lot, because if he flirts with Katie, Ella, you know, Ella cannot handle stuff like that, and Ella is very outspoken, so she will continue to bring that energy and clash with him. They're passionate about each other. They both like each other a lot, and I really hope they sort that out to get back together and, you know, try to build something and move forward. And like I said, they could potentially win the show because the energy they've always brought from the beginning of the series, the season, they've been bringing a lot of vibes, guys, into the villa. You can't deny that from the get-go. They've always brought something to the villa, some kind of entertainment, and I feel like they can actually win this. And I feel like what they feel and what they have for each other is genuine. My baby girl Whitney got herself her man, and he seems like he's really into her. Lacan, am I saying it right? He seems like he's into her, and you know what it is? I feel like he would be a good match in the sense of he's more open with his feelings, because we know with Medi was not very open with his feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? And Whitney isn't either. So she can feel stuff, but she don't normally say it right away. I think with Lacan, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but I think with him, you know, even when she's trying not to give those feelings away, he can read her. She see what I'm saying? And I love how hands-on they are. I love how attentive he is with her and stuff like that. And I really wanted to blossom. I wanted to go somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? I really wanted to go somewhere because I'm rooting for my girl. I feel like she needs to find herself a man and leave with a boyfriend at the end of the series. Like, I need to see it, honey. I need to see it. So I'm wishing and I'm hoping for the best for her. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's going good and in the right direction. So let's hope and pray that it continues and it develops and it grows. Let's talk about Sammy for a quick minute. I feel like at this moment, Jess should not be in this situation with the three-way thing right now, because the triangle, she's been stuck in a triangle from the get-go with Sammy. And here's the thing, I feel like, yes, he brought Amber from Castle Moore, but at the end of the day, I feel like he needs to be 100% Jess. Do you know what I'm saying? Or 100% Amber. Because at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? It's not fair on either of the girls. And I know he wants to get to know, but how many times is Jess going to stand there and watch him get to know another girl? Is it always going to be a case where there's going to be another girl? Because if that's the case, she needs to go and find herself a man that's going to prioritize her and put her first. Because with Sammy, it's always somebody else. It's always some kind of triangle. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like if he cares so much about Jess, you should be honest with Amber. Listen, I like you, but I really want to be with Jess. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be with Jess. So, you know, feel free, get to know other people and stuff, but I actually want to focus my energy on Jess. Be honest, don't string them both along, because he has a tendency to do things like this where he strings on both girls. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't want this for any of the girls, to be honest, because Amber seems like such a sweetie, and Jess deserves better as well. They both deserve better. I feel like Jess needs to approach the situation and say to him, listen, you need to make your mind up. It's me or her, or what it is, because at the end of the day, she can't be. How many times you're going to get girls coming and he's going to then put her in another triangle? Like, how many times does this have to happen? She's chosen him, and I think with her coming back on her own, she's proven that she's chosen him. He needs to either choose her or leave her the hell alone. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's just not fair. It's not fair on anybody, and he really needs to sort it out, because it's getting really old and really boring now. Okay, guys, I think I've covered all I wanted to cover in this episode. I don't think I've left anything out. But anyways, guys, my eyes is shutting down, as you can probably see right now, because when I get tired, these babies, they start closing. But yes, guys, I've come to the end of the review. Let me know what you think Ella should be doing. Should she cut the whole situation off with Uzi right away? Because obviously she had planned to do that and just talked her out of it. But you know, if she wants back a relationship with Tyreek, that's something that she will need to do, and she will need to do it as soon as possible, because if she doesn't, he's going to go and play a fool and do what he needs to do with Katie or whosoever comes in the villa, and then she might end up losing what they have. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you think that Tyreek is being fair by giving her an ultimatum? I personally think yes. You know, the fact that you bring a guy over, you know what I'm saying? I'm forgiving you for that. I need to know that this is it and you're done. You're completely closed off. Because when she asked him to be closed off, yes, he said he needed time, but at the same time, he reflected and he closed off. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you're closed off, you're closed off. She was the one that went exploring. And at the end of the day, if she wants him back, then she will need to end whatever situation it is that she's into right now. Because had it been the other way around, we would have been saying, nah, Ella, he needs to dump, Tyreek needs to dump that situation for us to even consider it. You know what I'm saying? So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching my video. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe, guys. Please subscribe. Hopefully tomorrow I get to have some good rest and my eyes won't be looking like this. But anyways, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. But for now, keep it sassy-licious.